Hello, my name is Natalia Quintero, and I'll be discussing the macro level issues that Biscuit & Co. Food Company is currently enduring. So, what is the problem at large? At the Biscuit & Co. Food Company, the organization is faced with a series of issues. The company is faced between wanting to innovate change through the new hired successful businessman, Richard Murphy, the marketing director, while simultaneously unwilling to respond to innovative change due to their habit of nature and loyalty due to the company's late CEO and his son, who happens to be the managing director. What specific problems do we address? So the changing nature of the workplace. There is a new marketing director, which is causing a drift in leaderships. Second, economic shocks. There's stagnant revenue and is not excelling in profit. And third, responding to matters. New developments are not being addressed or are ignored throughout various employees. Remedies. Incorporate what are some remedies we could fix for these problems? Incorporating innovation, discussing new plans to innovate new marketing packages and products. Though innovation is not currently something that is really focused on right now, innovating does incorporate positive change for our company. Second, flexibility. Both parties must be flexible to the new changes, as well as respecting the emotional connections that current employees have to the company. And third, learning. Each company must be willing to learn and evolve for the greater good of the organization. Though we could respect certain values to the company that they were brought up in, we must not be complacent in our work. Each member should be willing and receptive to learning from new adaptations, mistakes, as well as learning different material that will guide the company towards positive growth. So what should we keep in mind to incorporate? We notice that the company may come from traditional and family values, but does not incorporate their employees' opinions into that agenda. So what can we learn from this? There is Chester Bernard's organizational theory. In his theory of Bernard cooperative systems, he states that Bernard stressed that organizations are essentially cooperative systems, integrating the contribution of individual participants. So not only are individuals working for the company, but the company should be willing to work for the individual for the greater good of their goals and priorities and agenda. So overall solution to the larger issue at hand. In order to follow through with the solution, we must check if we are following the necessary protocols. As a company, we must know that communication should have been key to discuss new opportunities Murphy is trying to incorporate. Instead of the company ignoring the position Murphy fulfills, they should come together to understand that there will be a new position and communicate that directly, that he won't threaten but positively impact the future of the company towards a new direction. In regards with participation, we notice that employees are unwilling to complete projects or do not want to complete them. However, incorporating meetings where everyone feels inclined to speak and say their opinion, whether negative or positive, to Murphy's employment does demonstrate that the company values not just the board committee and the higher management, but the frontline workers as well. And thus, they will be willing to participate even more in next agendas and next meetings. Though there may be some disagreements on how the marketing packages and products should be launched or whether or not they should be launched, building support and commitment is essential to the company so that no one is left out, assuming or unaware of the new changes. Once these meetings are enacted and everyone is participating and committed to creating a new change, then we can assess and implement changes fairly. In order to implement these changes fairly, we must know what everyone's agenda is, priorities, concerns are. That way, no one is feeling divided and feels as though they are being incorporated into the new direction of the company. Now, we'll leave it off to my fellow representative who speak on the massive issues that the organization is currently facing.
My name is Yushan Chen, and I present meso-level problems and a solution for the company. For the meso-level, there are some problems that I find under the organizational culture perspective. The company does not focus on what customer wants, and the marketing group does not realize that customers' needs are shifted. The company started losing their market share and the revenue decreased. Employees do not want to make any changes in the company, and they have poor job performance when they are working together because the leader of the company does not have vision to run the company in long term. Next slide. Since the company already has a logo, brand, and products, observable artifacts though do not need to change. My solution focused on rebuilding the relationship and value inside and outside of the company. There are some solutions that I think are useful to solve the problem. First, the company should identify the main purpose, which is to serve customers. This first step is used to identify the fundamental culture inside of the company and make every employee clearly know the goal of the company. Second, building a strong relationship with customers by producing products to gain more customers and to keep current loyal customers. The company need to provide more healthy food for customers to buy. This step is used to deliver the organizational culture to its customers. Third, Andre, as the top manager of the company, should lead the company to make some changes. And this is the beginning of an organizational culture process. Fourth, the company needs to consider reinforcing the culture by hiring new employees who have the same value with the company, because these new employees can push the company to rebuild the organizational culture faster. Next, for employees to have better job performance and prepare for future works, the company need to provide an orientation for new employees. This can share the organizational culture with new employees. The last thing is that the company need a reward system to encourage employees to increase productivity. Money is the best reward according to research. Building a strong relationship inside and outside of the company is the most important thing in organizational culture.
My name is Hector, and I'm going to be giving you the micro perspective on Biscuit & Co. More specifically, the relationship between Murphy and Andrew and his peers. So, Andrew has been showing signs of being an incompetent leader, and I believe that Murphy would be a great candidate to replace him. So, before we get into that, we need to understand why Murphy would be a good replacement for Andrew. Murphy has big aspirations for Biscuit & Company, but his success is being limited due to the company's social structure. So what must Murphy do to gain the respect of his peers and become the leader that you need? So Murphy has lots of promise as a leader, as he shows his intentions of joining the company by saying, if you're the person who's gonna go into a business being asked to drive change, you've just got to do it. He wanted to inspire and create a work culture that embraces marketing. Revenant power wasn't the only sign of leadership Murphy displayed. He showed extra power as having a strong background in marketing, and his tactics from previous work experience has had proven success. So in addition to these leadership skills, he showed signs of building power at his old employers. Old coworkers used to describe him as being passionate, committed, and energetic. Qualities that define a great leader, but those same qualities ceased to shine through in his new position. So Murphy has been with Biscuit & Co. for several years now, and he has failed as a leader to implement the change that he was once known for. To answer my previous question, Murphy can create a detailed 1 year, 2 year plan with two scenarios. One where he gives a thorough explanation of the stagnant growth concerning their original strategy at Biscuit & Co., and one where they make the leap of faith and focus their company's efforts as marketing at its core. Creating these 1 year plans resolves any uncertainty employees may have using rational persuasion. In addition to this plan, Murphy can create and schedule meetings and memos to give everyone a voice. This allows Murphy to gain two sides to the argument and helps his credibility within the organization. When a leader displays signs of empathy, their subordinates become followers, and the company has an overall positive working environment. Then comes talk about the situation where things do not go as planned. In that case, we need to have CEO Sutherland come in and delegate. Having someone that is neutral in the situation and wants what's best for the company helps out. To reach the end result, Murphy may want to address the negative consumer reports. Hearing quotes from consumers gives employees a better understanding of their lack of innovation. Complaints of uncreative management plague the company, and shining a light on this subject can clearly influence change within the company. The last thing that could make Murphy a better leader is being more understanding. Murphy needs to show empathy. Andrew's father just passed away. Having someone that built this company pass away takes time to heal. Murphy has a better understanding, needs to have a better understanding of the social contract between him and his peers. Employees are still showing signs of loyalty to their old boss. Changing the company's direction causes resentment from Andrew and his peers. Keep in mind that marketing and finance employees don't share the same amount of experience with the company. Finance has been there with the company for multiple decades, and this new wave of sales and marketing employees is unfamiliar territory, and they feel like their job security is being threatened. Murphy needs to rise to the occasion and put their fears at ease. In doing so, he sets himself up for success as being a leader at Biscuit & Co. So if Murphy rises to the occasion, he could become a great leader at Biscuit & Co.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Losa, and the problem that I'm addressing is on the micro level, and it's the second part, and the problem of Andrew Eastern and how he handles everything. So currently, Andrew Eastern is the managing director and son of former CEO Gareth Eastern of Biscuit & Company. He currently faces the problem of not accepting change offered to him by the marketing director, Richard Murphy, and not adapting the company's products to changes in their environment, so they can beat out their competitors and have that advantage. Instead, instead, a good leader should always want to know any kind of information, no matter where it comes from, whether and especially if it's coming from someone who has a high level of experience in their field, like Richard Murphy. So he is content with the way things have always been done, even though it is leading to the company to deteriorating margins and profit loss. Another problem of Andrew is that he relies too heavily on reward and coercive power. Reward power is the ability to reward desired actions, even when sometimes it's not necessarily to be rewarded. And coercive power is the ability to punish when a punishment should not be set in place. Just how Andrew Eastern threatened Murphy to fire him and stated, "Sling your hook and consider yourself sacked. Leave now." So the solution to this would be leadership and managing power. Andrew should take on a more referent power base to stray away from reward and coercive power. Referent power refers to employees proves that to employees that leaders exhibit admiration and contains the ability to inspire. Um, and this will show employees that they want to work hard for their company and take it to the next level to compete in a fair environment. But in order to get to that leadership, it's the first step is to build your power. And that's some points in building power is to swallow pride when necessary, consider different means to achieve goals, which is a big one because that is the opposite of what Andrew is doing now, and understand others' motivations. Once you contain that power, there is a possibility of losing it. And that is when people rely too heavily on coercive and reward power, which is what Andrew is doing currently. And they fail to monitor changes in the environment and consider others' perspectives. Murphy is trying to give Andrew solutions on how to change their product, but keep the core values of Biscuit & Company in place. And once Andrew achieves this change of leadership, then they will benefit the company in many ways, including indulging with these notions. Eastern will be perceived as a strong leader by all of his employees, and his employees will want to work for him even harder than they already do. An efficient workplace environment will develop as more alternatives will be considered. Considering multiple ways of processes, this will lead to an advantage against their competitors. And most of all, a better relationship between Murphy and Eastern will prosper. Once they rekindle their relationship, a more efficient workplace and effective processes will come to light. So finally, In the overall, the macro solution will be considered with organizational change, the meso solution with organizational culture, the micro solution with leadership and managing power. Thank you for your time.